I can see so many familiar faces, few new faces as well. So good that people are now very keen to learn more and more. I would first of all like to thank all those who have been behind me from viewers and batch and every batch. But please send up the next one. So I think this is the first time in my life that I'm conducting like 3 live classes for relating to stock market in a span of what, less than 3 months. My God. So it's a good feeling as well. But then I know how much it takes. But I'm happy that we are doing this, and I'm happy that many people are also coming from different parts of the country. I guess Mumbai, I can see people coming in from Goa, na? Nahin, Thane. Mumbai and Thane is different. That I know for sure now. Okay. Hyderabad, 1 and 2 from Hyderabad. Gujarat, केम छो? मजामा. उतना ही क्या आता है? Okay. You're from Gujarat, but Visakhapatnam. You came from Visakhapatnam? क्या बात है? Wow. You came from? I know that. Which part of Pune? Bhosle Nagar. So from Visakhapatnam to Bhosle Nagar, we have a lot of people coming. Nice. Cool. So a very, very warm welcome again. For those who did my basics of stock market class and for those who did my fundamental analysis batch, if you remember, we have been saying that I don't see markets in a very good mood right now. You remember that? Yes. In fact, in our fundamental analysis batch, we had discussed that how inflation is going off the roof. There was one website that I discussed in fundamental analysis, which was tradingeconomics.com. And in that we said India inflation is bad, US inflation. We have discussed about how the macroeconomic factors are going in different parts of the world. Okay. If you have been following the news yesterday or day before yesterday, India inflation latest figure has come up. And it has gone off the roof. 7.75 or 7.871. Almost touching 8% right now. It's almost like all-time high. So with all these macroeconomic factors, I said that I believe that markets might go down. But the big question was, if they were really to go down, then till what? Correct? So please understand, fundamental analysis can help me build a view on the market. Okay, whether it might overall go up or go down or near remain sideways. There's no macroeconomic factors. I might get the feeling as well. But then what is the support till where market can go down? And from where does it have the capacity to bounce back? Those levels. You might have seen all these news channels and various YouTube creators as well who will say that I believe that market might go down to 15,000. When I was a student, I always used to believe, इनको कौन बताता है? Who tells them? So is there a study behind? I mean, is there a study behind all these things? Is there a study behind all these predictions? Yes. So if I were to understand the overall trend, whether it's going up, whether it's going down, whether if it is going down, then till what level it has the capacity to go down. If it goes up, till what capacity can it, till what level can it go up? All these things about price levels, the overall direction, all these can be answered with the help of technical analysis as well. Okay. One biggest advantage of technical analysis, biggest, is that if you have zero knowledge about finance, you're still well off. No problem at all. Because if I were to tell you the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis, in fundamental analysis, we try and understand a lot of things. If you remember macroeconomic data, we try to understand how the economy is doing. Then if you remember, we talked about industry level data, which industry is performing good. That too is not enough. Then we go down to company level data. Correct? Balance sheet, P&L, ratios, this, that, so many things we dig down deep into. Does technical analysis require knowledge of any of these? And answer is no. In fact, I have met few technical analysts, hardcore technical analysts, who tell me that I believe Rachna, this can go up to this rupees. Target, according to me, the target for this stock is this much rupees. And really? What does the company do? I said, I don't know. So then how can you say this? Because in technical analysis, again, it's the same thing I'm repeating. You need not know what the company does. You need not know how the economy is right now. Charts speak up for themselves. Is the basic assumption of technical analysis. So just in case, for anyone who's sitting in the class right now, if that person has that 1% feeling in the mind that I'm not so good at balance sheet, that's okay. It's not a part of technical analysis. Feeling good? Very good. Yes, he's saying yes. Very happy. Okay. So now, what we are going to focus on, now that we have already started this discussion, I'll just jump to this part, difference between technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Okay. So here if you can see the same point that I discussed, that if I'm talking about fundamental analysis, it's all about the financials, economy, society, political trends and so on. But technical analysis is only and only about analyzing the prices and the price movements. In Gujarati, it is where Bhav Bhagwan Che. You know Gujarati. थोड़ा सा, divert. In Gujarati, I'm repeating my sentence. Bhav Bhagwan Che. सही है ना? Correct. थोड़ा. So now I'm from Tamil Nadu, from Visakhapatnam, I'm Gujarati to me. Okay. So technical analysis is only about understanding the bhav, that is the price, what it has been historically, what it is right now, and where does it have the potential to go. That's it. Okay. Now one more difference is that FA is historical, whereas PA is forward looking. Now what do I mean by that? I'll quickly tell you. Fundamental analysis is historical. So this is typically true, especially if I'm talking about company analysis. Fundamental analysis has 3 parts in that. If I'm talking about company analysis, not any balance sheets, profit and loss, cash flow, notes to accounts, are these published every day? No. P&L will be published only. P&L will be published only once in a quarter. The condensed version, not even the full disclosure version. Quarterly results. Remember Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And full-fledged with disclosures that will be given only at the end of the year, only annually, once in a year. Then if that be so, the prices should have changed only once in a year. Or maybe even if you're talking about quarterly data, then 4 quarters, 4 data points. And when full disclosure again, 5 times only prices will change. Such an amazing thing it would have been. रोज कुछ टेंशन ही नहीं है. Right? But that does not happen. And that is the reason why we say fundamental analysis is more of historical. The price, whatever we see right now, is based on whatever the company has performed in the past. Of course, we try and understand what are the future projects of the company, what are the future order book in the company. We do try and test that, but main analysis is of the past. But if I'm talking about technical analysis is all about analyzing the past, agreed. But it's mainly related to, based on analysis of past, it's about predicting the future. It's a very nice saying that future is nothing but the past which has entered through another gate. Correct? So if I were to understand what will happen in the future, I just need to analyze the past. It will just come in a little bit different form. That's it. And that is what is technical analysis all about. Okay. Fundamental analysis will not show you entry exit levels. If I go further, dig down deep into valuations part, for those who have done art of value investing course, in that we can get an entry point, we can get an exit point. But you'll have to do a lot of calculation for that. But if you want a shortcut way, then it is technical analysis. It will tell you entry points, it will tell you exit points. In our course, we are not only going to understand what could be the entry point, in our course, we are also going to understand what could be the target price, and very important, which was not there as a part of TA 1.0. you're also going to understand how to trail your stop losses. Okay, so what is the concept of stop loss? Everyone knows. Yes, we have done that in basics of stock market course. Stop loss, correct? Right. And last point for fundamental versus technical is that if I'm talking about fundamental analysis, it's more suitable for investors. Technical analysis will be more suitable for traders. We were having a discussion in our office yesterday, and then we said that I actually wanted to become a trader, but once I bought the price, once I bought the stock, it went down and down and down and down and down, and then I became an investor. Okay, so that can also happen. Your journey starts with being a trader, and then you end up being an investor. Okay, and that's the reason why we have to put our stop losses in place if you are wanting to become a trader. Okay, so with this base difference in what about can I jump in this one? I think this is pretty simple. Yes. So going now to the logic of technical analysis. Just one slide before that, one page before what I discussed right now. What is the logic of technical analysis? Again, only 3 points to be understood for technical analysis. What are the 3 main points? Number 1, supply and demand determine prices. By the way, this is basics of stock market. Huh? Many people ask me in basics of stock market course, who decides the price of the stock? Who tells that it is this much, that much? Simple answer is demand and supply. Basic economics, more demand, less supply, price will increase. Less demand, more supply, prices will fall, prices will decrease. Basic economics, right? So demand and supply will determine the price. Second, changes in demand and changes in supply will cause the changes in price, of course. Can it happen that in the morning session at 9:50, let us say, there was a lot of demand and very less supply. In the afternoon session, there was a lot of supply and very less demand. Will the price change rapidly? Quite possible. And that is why changes in demand and supply will lead to changes in prices as well. And last one, prices can be projected with charts. What is that one word? So simple, a very simple common logic of technical analysis. Yes. In technical analysis, if you see, there are only 3 logics, and in all 3 logics there is one common word. Price. And that is why, what did I say? Bhav Bhagwan Che. Now my eyesight is perfect. Is this simple? But I think one thing is absolutely clear in your mind. I'm not a commerce student. Absolutely fine. I need not know anything about it. If you want to be good at technical analysis, it's about practicing and practicing and practicing only the charts. It's all about analyzing the price movements in the past, what the price is right now, and how it can go in the future. Just to build up a similar analogy for this small story, we can start off with today. Assume through a Bollywood style, 3 friends, and they're going on for a picnic. It's midnight. Midnight feeling, okay. And the car is going in the ghat section, and achance the car comes to a standstill, stops. 2 of them are terrified. They see that there is smoke coming outside the bumper. They're like, the third one comes out. He just opens the bonnet and he says we have to wait for 1 or 2 hours. Nothing else. The other 2 friends ask what happened. Nothing, our car is heating. It was overheated. Let it cool down. Once it cools down, we can go ahead. Now, how do you know about this? He said this has happened with me in the past. This has happened with me in the past. After 2 hours, the car comes down. He shuts the bonnet. Sails smoothly. Then I said this is also technical analysis. Is this also technical analysis? Yes, why? Happened in the past. Applied the same logic today. And it worked. Now the big question, is this going to work every single time? There could have been a genuine spark in the Okay, so please understand that whatever we are learning in the class, ideally that should happen. Will it happen every single time? And answer is no. When I learned technical analysis, my coach, my teacher was showing all these examples and he used to teach us some pattern. Okay, we're going to learn different patterns. And we used to look at, okay, this is the pattern, okay, fine. And so now let's understand what happens next. So there's a software, tradingview.com, you will learn about that as well. It has a feature of replay. So you can take the price to a specific point in the past and then you hit the play button. So you can imagine my teacher telling the story something like this. You can see this pattern. And from your ideally it should go and up, it should go up. And you then play the chart and wow, magic. This is what, oh my god, then why are people working hard no matter what? Should just leave everything and do only technical analysis. That's a way to earn money. Is this going to happen every time? Never. Even you are getting 40 to higher side 50%. Like 50% accuracy is also like magic. With all these points that you want to learn, even if you're talking about a 40% accuracy, you're well off. You'll still be earning money. You're like, how? 40% accuracy means 60% of your losses, na? Still you'll be earning money. How? Way to seek that's what we are here to learn. Because those who are telling you that we have a strategy, there will be many people who will sell you all these softwares and all that. Our software has 70% accuracy. Our software has 90% accuracy. Then why are you doing only this point? That is the only thing I should be focusing on, right? So what I have done is that whenever you're going to learn any chart, any type of chart pattern, any type of indicator, I'm not only going to show you the success, I'm also going to show you the failure. We have to be realistic from day one. If you remember, we started basics of stock market the same way. Why do people goof up in stock market? Because they have tremendous unrealistic expectations. People believe that I should be earning like what? 70% from stock market, minimum. And that's what we learned in basics of stock market. FD is giving you 6% return. Even if you're getting 12% return, you're getting double the return. Is that still a good enough number? Why not? Same thing, copy-paste logic here. If you're learning technical analysis, please set your expectations right. No one on the earth can give you 90% accuracy and 100% accuracy and all these things. No. You're going to face failures. Now in that case, what is the big point? If I know that I can't be right every single time, what is that one point which is very important? Very good. That's a stop loss. If I cut my losses at the right time, will it help me to stay longer in the market? Correct? And if I don't have a stop loss, then what happens? From trader to investor. Right. So having our stop losses right, setting our expectations right is what we are going to learn in these 15 to 16 hours. Basic, एकदम clear in your mind. Okay, few points I wanted to clarify in the beginning only. One more very important point. Some areas that I had not covered in technical analysis 1.0, I want to try and cover that as well. But some I want to cover because I believe that I learned a lot about these in the last 3 years and I believe that yes, they are really good. That is why the addition. Versus there are some points, just as an example, Fibonacci candles. Okay, Kago knows. Fibonacci candles is in the name. Okay. These are type of candlesticks. What are candlesticks? Everything you want to learn, okay? These I had not covered in the technical analysis 1.0, but I want to cover in this season 2, I can say. The version 2.0. But then why, if you ask me? there are some students who believe that if I have not taught something, then Jeevan व्यर्थ है. You might have seen this. You visit a destination, you come back and you're really excited. You love the place, and you know I went to XYZ place. I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm super excited. And your friend says, "Oh, 6th में देखा? तो क्या किया तुमने? Has this happened with you? Happens. So just for the sake of covering the 6th point, I have covered few points here. Do I believe that they are super important? You can't just move on without it? I don't think so. Something like hyphenation. I'm just going to give you an intro. This is what it is. You should not get the feeling that I don't even know what it is about. In Marathi, we call that as homework. A basic intro. Is this okay? Yes. And one last clarification before we move ahead is that technical analysis, like if you remember in ratio analysis, we have learned only very selected number of ratios. Can there be like 100 ratios or not? Yes. Because ratio is comparing one number with the other. Why 100? There can be 1000 ratios also. But does it make sense to learn all? No. And I've said this. Too much of analysis causes paralysis. We're not going to do that. Same logic copy paste here in technical analysis as well. Can there be multiple indicators? Yes. Can there be thousands of chart patterns? Yes. But then you can imagine if you have 100 chart patterns in your mind, do you think you'll be able to process that data and really take a position confidently? No. Like in school or in college, don't we keep some points in the syllabus for option? Similarly, we are going to keep some things from technical analysis for option. Why? Because I know that if I try and learn 100% thoroughly, I will end up going nowhere. Okay? Those things are clear in your mind? Yes. But I can promise you one point. Whatever you are going to learn, with those number of indicators, with those number of strategies, by understanding those many types of chart patterns, you'll be like, yes, I can take trades on my own. I can confidently take a buy or sell position. And even if I feel that, oops, my trade is going wrong, I know where to stop. That confidence will get at the end of this match. Okay? Yes? Shall we start? How do we say? Very good. Yes, please. He is saying that you were buying some stock. It was at 328. There was more demand, less supply. Whatever, more demand and less supply, no? In short. Correct. And still you are saying that the price is falling. No. Oh, so he's saying that demand has reduced drastically. And supply has not, supply side has remained more or less similar. Supply is more or less similar, but demand has dropped drastically. He said the price should have dropped down drastically, but it has fell only by 1 or 2 points. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Does this mean there is an operator in between? Well, let's not go into that. It's not necessary. Even if there is an operator, we can't come to know whether there is an operator or not. Number one. For those who don't know what is an operator, correct. So now I'll come to a very important point. Number one, for those who don't know what is an operator, apparently there are a few people who are sitting somewhere on the earth and they're trying to influence the prices. They're buying in bulk and they're dumping in bulk. Okay, that is typically what do we mean by an operator? Can we say an operator? No. Do you know that a Bajwari company operator office? No. No one knows that. Okay, but ideally operators are like group of 3 or 4 people or small institutions also we can say. Who are trying to manipulate the prices. Is this legal? No, that price manipulation is not legal. And just for your information, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange both have their own vigilance department. If they understand that there are few set of people who are trying to change the prices, who are manipulating the prices, they'll take action against them. Number one. Okay. Number two, when he's saying that demand fell by so much, price should have fallen by a huge number. Now, why did it fall only by a small number? And that is the reason why, one more very important point coming at the beginning of the session only, you cannot make a conclusion based on only one parameter. Very important point at the beginning. Was this only a one pointer analysis? Yes. A huge drop in demand is equal to huge drop in price. We can't say that. You have to have multiple confirmations. This is what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying, oh, now ideally it should go down drastically. Assume that I've gotten 4 indicators that it will go down drastically. Ideally should it go down? Yes. Will it go down every single time in such a scenario? No. Maybe. Maybe not. Clear? Yes. So now with this basic understanding, introduction to technical analysis, we have done fundamental versus technical also, you have understood the difference, right? We did discuss about the logic of technical analysis as well. Some quick myths about technical analysis, it might, just a quick discussion, we might have 1 or 2 extra also, but that's fine. I think everyone knows about these things, so we're unable to rush through this. Okay. First, technical analysis can be used only for short-term trading. No, can be used for short-term as well as medium to long-term. Okay. Second, if you see, technical analysis is a magic stick with which we can always predict the prices. Have you already covered that as well? Can we gauge the probability of the direction? Yes, but it will not be 100% true every single time. Next one, technical analysis is too complicated. Answer is, no. That's why we are here, right? So we'll make it very simple so that everyone who is attending this, as I promised, at the end of 15-16 hours, should be really confident I can do it by myself, right? Very important 4th point. I can perfectly buy at lows and sell at highs using technical analysis. Nonsense. No one can guess the rock bottom and no one can sell at the highest point in time. The one thing which is very common in stock markets is neither profit nor losses, it is regret. Wow, that's a deep thought. How many of you had a regret in stock market? At least once, you can raise your hand. At least once. Has to be 100%. And then you should be like, oh, thankfully I have not taken any trade till date. That is also a big regret. Not taking any action, right? It's like getting married. So, even if you are buying low and selling high, what is going to happen? It's going to happen. So instead of enjoying those profits, you want to be like, such a higher. So happens. Okay. And once you buy it, it's going to be point. And you're like, okay, this check support level, morning star, this, that. No, perfect rock bottom. You buy that, the support is broken. It goes down further. Again, regret. Okay. So just remember that regret is going to be a part and parcel of your entire stock market journey. Just enjoy the journey. Okay. Exactly. That is the next point that I'm going to come to. What he said right now, it's all about the psychology. Okay. I believe that for anyone's success, be it in stock market or be it otherwise, 80%, 20% people have their own opinions. What will be 80%? What will be 20%? 80% I believe is more about learning the techniques, learning the ideal do's and don'ts. But that 20% is about psychology. Some people believe 20% is more than enough for learning. 80% is about psychology. I'll try and build a very similar example out of technical analysis first. I always wonder about this, that why does this happen? A batsman like Sachin Tendulkar, a batsman like Virat Kohli, taking the latest example. Now Virat Kohli right now, I mean everyone knows that he's a great batsman, right? And you've seen the best form of Virat Kohli. And whenever he's going to come onto the field, he's going to just blast and he's going to hit 4s and 6s and whatnot. You've seen how he's performing in the recent past. People blame on Anushka, that's not his fault. That's wrong. What about Sachin Tendulkar? Against him too. When in the best of his forms, he'll be like, once Sachin is there in the field, you're sure that now we're going to win. But sometimes, these are big bad patches in the career of cricketers. That they'll try their level best, but they might not get going only. So here I believe that what do you think? Is there a problem with the technique? A person who can hit the best cover drive, who can hit the best straight drive, why not now he's getting out on the similar ball where he could have hit a very nice cover drive? Somewhere something is wrong in his mind. Psychology is the problem. Maybe that sports person is not able to concentrate because of any factor. We don't know why. Somewhere his thought process is going wrong. And unfortunately that is not quantifiable. Technique can be quantifiable. I can tell practice a straight drive 100 times to start off. I can say practice psychology 100 times. That's something which is not measurable, right? But that's what we have to practice and get it right. So one part that I learned in the last 3 years, which I not covered in the technical analysis 1.0 because I never knew about it. That is what we want to cover in this technical analysis 2.0. How to build a base level of psychology. But I believe that should come at a later stage. Why? Psychology can't give you winning trades. First you have to learn the techniques. Once techniques are in place, then comes your mind. So that is also what we want to learn in the last session. Okay? So this everyone must have very, very, very clear in their mind that you cannot always buy low and sell high. And if it is not to be there, enjoy it. Okay.